Hi, thanks for clicking on this video. I'm an American, living in Germany for more than 20 some years. And a bunch of years ago, I got hit with a brain tumor. I babble about all that and more here on my channel. Welcome, and welcome back to my regular subscribers, my beloved members, friends, families, stalkers, and all this, so on and so forth. But today, I got a question, Germany. And quite honestly, I don't even want the answer. I just want to sit here, rant, get this off my damn chest, set some of y'all straight, and let other disabled people know who are encountering the same thing, I assume, that they're not alone. So, Germans in the comments down below, can you let me know, what does being disabled look like? What does a disabled person look like? Because after 6 years of living here in Germany, I don't feel like I'm doing it right. I don't think I'm doing it right. I'm being disabled wrong. But in all seriousness, like I throw that question out there just to clarify for people that maybe don't speak German or have never been to Germany. You know, like when here in Germany, when somebody does something dumb. So just for like clarification for y'all, if you don't speak German or you've never been to Germany. So here in Germany, it is an unfortunate thing that too many people do, where they'll, for example, when somebody does something crazy or stupid or has like a crazy idea or a dumb idea, an ignorant German will look at them and say, "Bist du behindert?" Now, for you non-German speakers and people that don't know about the German culture and what it's like living here, just to be clear, literally translated, like their question then to the person in a sarcastic tone is, "Are you disabled?" And I could only equate the vibe of what they're saying and how it's meant as an insult to being disabled. It's sort of similar to how in America, where I'm from, you'll find also like ignorant kids and other ignorant humans using like the R word, you know, to like when somebody says something dumb, they'll say, "What are you, Ray?" Ignorant and dumb humans. But yeah, somehow this is still a thing here in Germany. There are still people walking around and using disabled as a slang, as an insult against somebody, because, you don't want to be that. Because the implication is that it's the most horrible thing in the whole wide world, and you know what? I am that. So thanks for just confirming all of my negative thoughts that go through my brain, that I am a burden, and the most horrible thing that could happen has happened. What a little bullshit. And I'd really just appreciate if people would knock it the hell off. I was really shocked that today a doctor used this word, this phrase at me in the same fashion. See, it's just a little bit shocking to me that some people just still don't get it. So let me just share my point of view on things and why this shit deeply disturbs me, and it needs to stop. People need to stop using disabled as an insult, but also people need to stop thinking that they can diagnose people in the way of thinking that they can look at somebody and tell how disabled they are or if they are disabled simply based on appearance. You see, because since I got hit by this brain tumor, I've been going down this path, this very uncomfortable, ableistic path. Becoming disabled like 5-6 years ago, first, honestly, I had to face my own ableism. I didn't want to accept that I was disabled. So dead seriously, the first time I learned about ableism as a disabled person was my own, was admitting that I had ableistic thoughts, because they are the freaking norm in our society today. So I start off my disabled journey not really wanting to accept that I'm disabled. I'm going to get better anytime. I'm just going to keep going to doctors till I get the answers I want. When in reality, what I should have done was begin accepting my new body, my new life, and accepting my disabilities. But if I may be so bold, I've definitely played a role in that. I'm definitely at fault in that path there. But also, I would dare say doctors who were disinterested in informing me of my disabilities also played a role. Frustrations. And you know, I said it before, and I'll say it again. Thank God, Satan, Buddha, Allah, whoever, thank them that I had a good psychotherapist as my body was falling apart. Because I'll tell you what, fighting for my rights and the things I need as a disabled person, I think is enough to mentally break anybody. And if you know what I'm talking about, because you've been through this, I would love to hear from you down below in the comments. So right, but pay attention. So thankfully, like I said, I had a really good psychotherapist when I got hit with this brain tumor and started having issues all over the place. So I had already been working on me. And one thing I learned through psychotherapy over the years was one thing I needed to improve upon was being able to be open with people and ask for help. I have a hard time asking for help and expressing when I need help. Making these videos is part of me working on me. I'm openly talking a lot of things that bother me here. There's more to come, so make sure you're subscribed and got that bell on to get notification when those updates come. But right, so the path I'm on, right? So I'm in therapy and I already know this is an issue, you know? I spent many years like a dog treading water, just go, just try to keep going and not tending to me and things I should have tended to. Physical health, mental health, and so on. And through therapy like that, and also good talk with a good friend, you know, I slowly began to accept my new life. I'm disabled now. It took me too much time, but I reached a point where I need to just accept that this is my body, and it may not always do 100% of what I want or what it used to. I need to learn a new way of living. That's all. I just need to adjust. But to adjust, I have to, you know, accept that I'm broken and I can't fix everything, while having to accept that I have to ask for help a lot, which I hate doing. But yeah, when you're disabled, you need help a lot. So check this out. So once I begin accepting that I'm disabled and I just begin accepting that, you know, maybe I'm not going to be able to walk right again, you know, for example, and I am just going to have to deal with having pain every day. I'm living in this German system, and this German system tells me that I need to apply by my health insurance for something they call a Pflegegrad. Let's call it in English a care level. And the whole reason I'm doing this is because I'm accepting I'm disabled and I'm acknowledging that I need help. I need help in a lot of things that were embarrassing for me to admit, what I consider stupid little things, because that would be my ableistic brain from before I became broken and disabled. Things like going shopping, carrying stuff, maybe cleaning, rides to places, just, you know, someone to accompany me from time to time. These ain't comfortable things for me to admit, and it's not an easy thing for me to ask for this help. However, I'm told repeatedly by people who know here in Germany, I have a right to a lot of those things. And I'll tell you, you know, trying to get those rights, man, you gotta really, time, money, your nerves, it's all gonna be tested. And in the middle of me really coming to terms and accepting that this is the new me, this is my new life, I am disabled, and, you know, on one side being kind of happy and thankful that I'm here in Germany as opposed to America, where I'm from, where I'd be in a much worse condition. But I'm trying to accept this, thankful, okay, there's help available for me. I worked 20 hard years and paid into this health insurance company. This is when I'm supposed to be able to get some back to help me with these things I need because I became disabled. But I'll tell you what, in the middle of me trying to accept being disabled, I found myself repeatedly here with appointments from doctors. These are doctor ladies. They're nurses or caregivers. You know what? At this point, after the horrible experiences I had, I don't even give a shit. It's a so-called independent organization known as the Medizinischer Dienst. And I'm telling you, what my experience was with them, horrifying. I wouldn't wish it on anybody else that has disabilities. And if you're watching this in Germany and you have a relative who needs to get a Pflegegrad and they're going to have these appointments with these Medizinische Dienst, accompany them. Do not let them do these appointments alone. But I found myself in a situation where it was like they didn't want to believe me. Like, I need to prove that I'm broken enough. I need to show that I'm broken enough. Yeah, we have a paper from your doctor that says you have depression, vertigo, constant tinnitus, problems walking, pains all over your body. You're also dealing with an Angststörung, so anxiety, PTSD, all kinds of fun things when mixed together make things a little difficult, and I need help for it, but also they're not fun to talk about. But here I am over and over again with very unsympathetic, unempathetic human beings across the table from me who don't know anything about the specific rare tumor I had. And every single one of them didn't feel like they were here to see what I needed as a disabled person and judge that, what's available to me from what I paid into my health insurance company. It felt more like they came here to interview me to try to cut off as much as they could so that my health insurance wouldn't have to pay me back anything. That is what every single appointment I had. And even at that appointment, I have a doctor lady in front of me, sent from the courts. She works directly with the courts, sits in front of me and shares with me a story about not believing the care level that a person she saw for a few seconds walk into a room with a rollator. I looked at her and I informed to her what I am screaming here should be obvious to everybody. You can't diagnose somebody by looking at them. And this is the woman that's supposed to make a decision involving what my level is. She's telling me to my face she does exactly that. And me, I apparently was stupid. I was stupid because I showered before those appointments, because I prepared myself with notes, lined everything up, sat at the table. My mistake was I didn't look broken enough. This woman had the balls to ask me to walk from my table to my door and back. I looked at her and I said, "What do you think you're gonna see?" And she said, "No, just do it." And I did it almost perfectly. You know why? Because I walk from my table to my door and back quite freaking often. But as I did the turnaround and came back, there was a little bit of me off balance. But what are we doing? Am I dancing like a monkey to prove to you? I have diagnoses from top clinics, top doctors, neurologists that were inside my head saying all of my diagnoses and symptoms. But yet, I found myself repeatedly having to sit there and prove that I'm broken enough. More broken. Give us more broken. You don't look broken enough. What a little bullshit. And then today, I had to go to an orthopedic doctor, a bone doctor, because I went to my GP, my Hausarzt, and I explained to him that for like 6 years long, I'm walking around with feeling like I'm on a boat, and my feet are reacting in that way, and I'm feeling it from my feet to my legs to my thigh to my back all the way up. I have pains from walking. Just a walk to the supermarket and back, I'm going to have pains. Trouble spot on my foot. Sciatic nerve about to pop. And that's no fun. But also just in other places I can tell, because my movement's though subtle, it's wobbly, Instead of how you walk heel toe, my foot's doing a little bit more side to side. Just subtle, but enough to like actually make marks on my damn feet and give me pain and make me walk funny. So at my Hausarzt, my GP, I said to him, "Look, I accept I have to deal with this dizziness apparently for the rest of my life. But I would like to be more mobile. Less pain, more ability to get around. Do you think I should consider a cane?" I asked him, envisioning in my head, of course, a cool cane with perhaps a dagger in the handle, but that's beside the point. He looked at me and he said he wouldn't trust a cane because what I need is actual breaks. I need to sit, and he's right. And he said he wouldn't trust the weight of my body, not calling me fat, but state that cane would be stable enough. There are medical devices, I learned, canes that have a little fold-out seat, but I believe him. And at that point he said to me, "Maybe a rollator." Those things we see a lot of grandmas with 4 little wheels on them, sometimes a nice little shopping basket, little handbrakes. But he said first, go to the osteopath, go to the bone doctor, and let's make sure that the parts of me that have pain from walking funny are not broken or something serious. So I did this, and I went to a guy that I thought was really good. Actually, he had worked in Philadelphia. That would be my city of brotherly love, also the murder capital at one point, but that's besides the point. Anyway, he worked there at one point, and this is a guy here in my town. So I went to the guy. And unfortunately, like a lot of doctor's appointments in this country, not all of them, but you get the feeling right away that this doctor either has no interest, no time, but usually it's no time. And I'm starting to tell him my history and what my issues are, because my history is related to why I have these pains. And it's like I'm only getting half sentences out, and he's moving on to like the next question. And then pretty much he wants to narrow it down to 2 things. Only 2. So we're forgetting my foot pain, neck pain. We're going to concentrate on my back and my hips. And he makes it pretty clear by cutting me off repeatedly that he doesn't want to hear any more of my details or complaints. This is what we're doing. We're going to go get x-rays of the back and the hip. And so I figure, okay, this is what we're doing now. So this is what we're doing now. And I figured this was a good time to ask him his opinion on the conversation I had with my GP, with my house heads. And I started to form the sentence, speaking in German, that did he think that perhaps I should be considering some sort of device, like a rollator, so that I can be more mobile and in less pain? I didn't get the whole sentence out. I think I got as far as rollator when he looked at me and he said, "Das wollen Sie gar nicht. Dann werden Sie behindert aussehen. Sie wollen nicht ausschauen, wie Sie behindert sind." Or something directly along those lines. Yeah, this is a doctor. Oh no, I'm gonna look disabled? Says the girl whose half of her damn face doesn't work, drools sometimes, can't completely close that eye without straining weird neck muscles. Oh no, I'm gonna look disabled. And it's not just the words, it's the tone. Like, to look someone dead in the eyes and tell them they don't want to do something for fear of looking like something that is, you can tell by the tone and the way it is being presented, absolutely horrifying. And I looked at him and I said, I am disabled. I'm disabled and I want to be more mobile. And honestly, I was shocked. And he was like, yeah, again, cutting me off. I got my paper. I'm to go get the x-rays now. But like, I really sat there like, oh my God, this guy, I am disabled, and he just presented to me that I was risking looking disabled, because that's the worst thing to look like in the world, I guess. Thanks, Germany. So, just to be clear, for those of you out there who are highly ignorant and do not know but open to learning, disability should not be used as an insult. It's not an insult. It's a description of a situation. And disability is on a spectrum, if you will. Believe it or not, there are people in wheelchairs who can walk. And there are people who are legally blind who can still see a few things. It's not all black and white. And most importantly, just because you can't see the disability does not make it non-existent. Like, it was really shocking for me, speaking of wonderful experiences and being disabled in Germany, of having a situation where I was to enter this building every day and go up to a second floor, and there was an elevator for disabled people, but it was mostly being used by fit workers who were just too damn lazy to take the risky looking stairs. But I really believe to this day, even though I showed them my disability card, I openly spoke with them about my issues, what they feel like, what happens to me, they refused to give me access to that elevator. And I really remember when it happened to me, like being in a moment of kind of like just absolute disbelief and like talking to myself and being like, I didn't look broken enough for them to hand me access to the elevator. Even though I have clear doctor paperwork which says I should probably have access to an elevator over risky stairs. How effed up is this that I've only been disabled for like 6 years, and it's like I go from one moment not looking broken enough to just like, oh my God, people like wanting me. Like it felt like some creepy ass fetish. Show us how broken you are, you know? I should, you know, it's not good enough that I have to tell the woman. I have to open up with embarrassing things that like depression, anxiety, PTSD, all of these different things. They can actually leave me bedbound, not showering, not brushing teeth, not feeding myself. It's embarrassing enough to have to admit those things to people. It's horrifying when I find myself sitting across the table from a medical professional who sees that doctors have also said the same words that I'm sharing with them, but they're looking at me, and I really believe they don't believe me because I got up and I showered today. Because I tried to present myself as half decent, right? Because I didn't have my disabilities all out front and center. I mentioned having big ass bruises on my knees, on my elbows. I shouldn't have to take them out, whip them out, and put them in your damn face. Multiple diagnoses and paperwork that talk about the vertigo that I have, the dizziness, and a clear explanation as to why, with a balance organ destroyed and damage on my cerebellum. But still, a doctor lady who works officially for the courts is like, walk from here to there. People, do not look at people and diagnose them. And if someone shares with you that they are disabled, feel honored in that moment that they felt comfortable enough with you to share with you private medical information. It's not easy for everybody to do that. And if a disabled person asks you for help, listen to them, take them seriously, and just effing help them. Questions like, what do you mean you can't do that? Oh, come on, you can do that for sure. Or, you really need help in this? You really need a ride? You can't walk from there? These things are not helpful. I repeat, if a disabled person asks you for help, just effing help them. And most importantly, this is really the most important one to me. It's the point what provoked me to make this video today. So I'm going to need you to come just a little bit closer, right? So listen to me. If you happen to be a doctor or anybody in any kind of medical related profession who thinks that you can just look at somebody and diagnose if they are healthy or not, physically or mentally, or if you happen to be the special kind of douche canoe doctor that I encountered today, who thinks that looking disabled is an insult, that to look disabled, your implication is that that would be a bad thing. To you, I say to you, with partial facial paralysis and my disabled half of my face not working, find a new job, you worthless piece of doo-doo. And that's it. That's pretty much the rant I had to get out. It's been building up, ready to boil over inside of me, and I needed to get that out. And if you happen to be watching this and you happen to be disabled too, and you know what I'm talking about, and you've had your own experiences, pipe off down below in the comments. Because there are still too many people out here that don't get it. And it's like, you know, some of us, we have to learn the hard way. As I said at the beginning of this video, the first form of ableism I had to face head on when I became disabled was my own damn ableism. So don't be like me, right? Learn from my mistakes, because ableism is trash. What's not trash is you, because you watched this whole video. And I thank you for staying and watching the whole video. I'm sorry that it's been a while since I uploaded anything. I really have been going through a lot. But those things that I've been going through, I plan to speak on real soon. But also, in case you didn't notice, once in a while I pop on spontaneously and I do some live streaming while I'm painting. I sit at home and I paint a lot, especially on days when my head hurts, I'm just not feeling great. So again, if you're interested and you ever want to chat about any of the topics I ever brought up in any of my videos, make sure you're subscribed and you got the bell rung so you get a notification when I go live. Pop into the chat, ask me anything you want. And I really do hope to be coming at you again soon once I bring some things to closure, which includes appointments and court dates. But once I bring some things to closure, I'll be bringing you some more information on what I've been up to in the last year. Thanks for being here, and wherever you are, until the next time that I come at you with a video, I hope that you're over there taking care of yourself.